So we understand the idea of what it is. Now what our goal has to be, because influence is something that happens as part of a structure, not just something that we do. It's not just a word track. It's something that we're starting to build. It's something that we're starting to work to create. You got a lot of marketers. You've heard from a lot of marketers. There's a lot of marketing talk here at the event and what we can be doing, what the factors are here. But the reality is marketing doesn't matter if we cannot convert the prospect to sale. We agree with that, yes?
Yes.
Do all the marketing in the world. If I can't get conversion, I can't get to a deal. Dealers tell me all the time, you know what, Cory, we do a great job when they're in front of us. Because that was the old adage in the business, just send me more customers and we do what? We sell more cars. A little more complex than that, right? Got a little more complicated now. So that's why conversion has to be key. Now, your marketing has its own set of conversion, but now it's what we're doing from the human side that is going to contribute to that. So let's talk about that. Let's look at the core of influence. And I really encourage you guys to take some notes here because my PowerPoints are very difficult to get. So when we look at the core of influence, so I want to look at how that kind of breaks down here. Unwavering belief in your company, unwavering belief in your product, unwavering belief in yourself. Let's start in these three areas. Because a lot of you in this room are decision makers. So what you're responsible for is you're responsible for what happens top down. It's not just about you. So some of you that work on the front lines, but some of you are influencing your dealerships. So if you shift, then everybody else can shift. We chased this general manager on a program, his group. It was a 65-store group, and it was an opt-in program. So we were approved to do the program, but you had to call and deal with each store individually. So there's one general manager we chased for 6 weeks. One of my guys finally gets the guy on the phone. He says, how long have you been calling me? Sir, I've probably been calling you for about 3, 4, 5 weeks. So isn't the fact that I didn't call you back an indication that I'm not interested? So think about that philosophy, right? That's top down. So this is a general manager. So think about a salesman. Think about a meeting in the BDC department. How many people in the BDC department right now? Few. Internet department, BDC, marketing departments. So imagine if the philosophy was you making a phone call and a customer not calling you back after the first or second call was an indicator that they weren't interested. What would you do with your leads? How would that change your process? Your process would almost become non-existent. You'd be one call Charlie. Oh, I called them twice, called them 3 times. If they're interested, then let them call me back. That becomes the philosophy. So that was the top-down philosophy that was going through the store. That's why it's huge. Your people have to drink your Kool-Aid. Whatever you sell. Because let's face it, we're pretty equalized now. I sold Kias in the late 90s. Anybody else in here sell Kias in the late 90s? Yeah. We just set somebody's check engine light off right now. Just talking about it. There's somebody driving a 98 Cephia, if it's still on the road, and we just set his check engine light. That car's check engine light would go off for any reason. Close the door too hard, check engine light. Turn the radio up too loud, check engine light. Roll the window down too fast, check engine light. But those spiffs, $400 a copy. The salesperson. But we're not there anymore, right? There was a time, any Hyundai guys in here? Work for Hyundai? No? Ever heard of Hyundai? Get some hand raised going around that. There was a time when you really thought they put a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engine in that Excel, right? You drive one of those cars up a hill, you pray to Jesus that you can get up that thing. So, we're not there anymore, right? We're Toyota, Honda people in here? Ain't you all Honda people? Yeah, let them put a Kia store down the street, Hyundai store down the street from you. You'll be a lot scared. Because it ain't just about Camry, number 1 selling car in America, press hard 5 copies, right? More complicated now, right? More options. Where could a consumer spend $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000? I could buy a $70,000 Hyundai. Not happening 5, 6 years ago. So we're pretty equalized. Everybody's kind of there in the good car, bad car department. So we don't have those rules. We don't have those normal things that we rested our laurels on. Oh, new facility. There's very few Honda dealers in the country that don't have a new facility. So now what's the point? Now you can't say that anymore, right? Toyota dealers, most manufacturers have these objectives on changing facilities. So now what happens? What are you selling based on? But if your people are not believers, I get in one of my Kia dealer's cars, and we're going to lunch, and he's in the car, and he's swearing up and down he's going to take me out of my car. Oh, why don't you drive, Cory? Feel that Optima? Go ahead, step on it. Okay, Fred. Fred, yeah, this isn't how my V8 goes at my house. But they're believers in the product. My dealer comes in and he's got a Kia belt on. He's involved. They're believers. I get on the phone with my Honda guy. Oh, Cory, have you seen the new 2013 Accord? You need to get in here. You can get one for your wife. He's a believer. Are your people believers, or they're just doing their jobs? Because that stuff, there's a shift in somebody being a believer in the store versus just coming in to do the job. Belief in self, belief in product, belief that you can differentiate and not just be comparable. Focus on differentiation. You've heard people talk about benefits package. There's different acronyms for how it, but at the end of the day, it's why am I buying from you? We've been beating this drum for years. Let me give you a few takeaways. And I had 15 general managers in the room from one of the highest, this particular organization, one out of every 587 cars in the country is sold by this group, and 15 of their best and brightest in the room. And I said, why should we buy a car from your organization? 7 acres of inventory. Nobody cares. President's Award. I've never met a customer yet in all my travels that I've said, you know what made you buy a car today, sir? Oh, that President's Award over there. Listen, be proud of the work that you're doing. Be proud of the work that your dealership's doing. But again, when we sit down and we look at what is the attraction path of the customer, that's when we have to get more realistic in that area. We're the only industry there everybody can be number one. If there's a billboard down the street on I-85 somewhere, an Acura dealer saying he's number one, the other Acura dealer, 3 billboards later saying he's number one. If Pepsi ran a billboard in Atlanta that said more people drink Pepsi in Atlanta than Coke, and they didn't have the research, the data, and the studies to back it up, Coke would be suing their ass off, right? Not us. I'm number one. No, we're number one. Nobody goes, well, you know what, Cory? Only 88.4% of our customers liked us last month. We don't do that. So when the technique is the same, it gets what? Equalized. It becomes a law of diminishing returns. So that's why when I talk about going back to the drawing board, really sitting down and looking at what the engagement points are at your dealership. Where do the benefits really come from? And at the end of the day, does every person that interfaces with your customer genuinely believe at your store that a customer is better off having purchased a vehicle from your dealership? Do they believe that? I know sales guys who won't service their car at the dealership they work at because of the state of disarray that the service department said. Do your people believe? Apple, we all got our devices